Hey, I think I'm live. Am I? Am I? Yes. It's the Nazarite. Really new Hebrew lore from days of yore right here in Yerushalayim. Oh, city of God, eh? So they say. Okay. Two things I want to say. First, about the weekly Torah portion, Trumah, where after some or many different physical commandments are spoken to Moses when he walks into the fog of God there to the top of the mountain. Now it comes to, I've given you some rules of conduct between yourselves, between you and your God, right? All of last week's Torah portion, full of commandments, wide range of commandments. And in this week begins the commandment of the sanctuary, of the temple, the Mishkan, the tabernacle, a place of dwelling. And this very, very famous verse, which I've spoken many, many times, Exodus 25, I'm reading from the JPS Tanakh. And let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. Ve'asu li mikdash, ve'shachanti betocham. We know the tabernacle, traditionally, as the Mishkan, a tent, under a tent, so to speak. The first time the word mikdash is written in the Torah, if I'm not mistaken, is in the Song on the Sea. After the parting of the sea, when they make it and they see the Egyptians all dead, and they sing a song of praise, and they sing, well, it's more than praise, but I'll leave it at that. And the word mikdash appears there, and it appears here. And here it is, I'll dwell among them, I will dwell among you, v'shachanti betocham. Very famous emphasis is put on the fact that it says betocham, in them. This JPS Tanakh translates it as among them, which is also technically true. There's bam and there's betocham. And there's a difference between them, but the idea is you make a physical vessel, right, of gold and silver and copper, of these skins and these fabrics, the wine, the oil, the slaughter, the blood. What you will be able to do is transcend all of those things, all the precious metals and stones, the fabric, the fire, the blood, the water, the wine. It's a means to an end. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? V'shachanti betocham. Through all of that physical ritual of animal sacrifice, sacrificing oil, sacrificing wine, sacrificing water. Oh, so many different, burning incense. All of that physical thing is supposed to facilitate something within us. A change, a transformation, for going beyond, if you will, all of those material things. That needs to come first. Ve'asuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham. It is through this physical worship, animals slaughtered, precious stones and metals. It's like, what, really? Can you get any less spiritual than precious metals? But no, these are all things that have a root in the Hebrew way. All the different facets of this physical worship, and it's all there to elevate you beyond that physical to the degree that you are affected by it. We have no temple these days, but there's so much to be learned from Parashat Trumah. And one of the first things that I've learned, growing up religious and every year again and again and again, is first, they'll make a place of dwelling for me, and I will dwell among them. It's not I will dwell in it, in that place. I will dwell among them. And the second thing is that it starts with the ark, meaning you're about to receive something. Prepare the vessel. The first thing that Moses says when he comes down from the mountain is keep the Shabbat, and let's build a temple, a place of dwelling, a tabernacle. Whereas here, he gets different commandments first. I'll leave it at that. I love this Torah portion. It might seem very, very technical, and it is, but much like they say the devil's in the detail, there's also divinity in the details. And all of the different cubits and measurements, all the different pieces of wood, the different skins and fabrics, precious stones and metals, the oil, the wine, the blood, the water. All of it is given in precise measure. The priests are sanctified. They go through that whole transformation. And it starts with the Ark of the Covenant, a covenant which he doesn't have quite yet in his hands. The stone tablets were not given to him. The second time, the ones that weren't broken by Moses, second time, he fashioned the stone. First one, right, was something there, Moses being that great bridge between the divine revelation and Israel, definitely, and the world to some degree at the time. It came in some sort of physical stone, which wasn't supposed to make it. But during this time, when Moses is getting these different commandments about the temple, he doesn't have that yet in his hand. It says in the Torah portion, there you will store the testimony, the covenant, right? The testament that I give to you. Ha'edut. Make the vessel first, then you will be receiving that Torah. We're all called to be that temple, be that tabernacle, be that vessel. So it's important to realize that it's something which may manifest in physical things because we are physical creatures. But it means the transcendence of that physical nature as well when you go along with it in the way of the Torah, in the way of making the world a better place, being a good person, and making your body, your being, to the degree that you can, a place where divine revelation may dwell. And that second thing of start with a vessel, become more empty. And as long as you're, willing to be open to where it orients you, it will fill you. You always need to keep yourself in check as far as I'm concerned. Maybe that's part of why I do this. But the second thing is this. This is my newest purchase. It's called the Nzir Elohim, Nazarite of God, after the verse pertaining to Shimshon, that he will be a Nazarite of Elohim from the stomach, from the womb. The author, so this came out about 1.5 years ago, all about the Nazariteship, its roots, its branches, and where it was and where it's going, and its halachic everyday implementation with Rishonim and Achronim, with the sources in Torah, Mishnah, Talmud. It's what I'm saying is this. I've only skimmed it a little bit. I'm wondering, I'll have to ask permission from the author. Or maybe not. Probably not. I'd like to get his permission. I met with him yesterday. I found out about this book a few days ago. I purchased it. I met with him in the Old City. It's the first time in 7 years that I've met face-to-face another Hebrew Nazarite. And it was special. And I think our paths will cross again. In fact, I'll see to it. And this book, even though I don't consider myself a man of halacha per se, and I pick and choose everything, I'm so happy with this book. So what I want to do is learn it alongside you and maybe perhaps write an English translation to some of the passages, if not everything. And I want to get his blessing before I do that. I want to get permission. But I would love to study this book from page 1 alongside you, because I've looked here and there in different things, but it's a pretty thick book. So I'd love to learn this alongside you. Let me know if that's something you would want to do. So Lisa is here. Shalom, crispy filmed. May he dwell where we make it suitable for he. How lucky are we that he shall be within our presence. Yeah, there's Rabbi Nachman says, when a person realizes his faults and his frailties and his distance from the ideal, he might become discouraged because he knows he's not worthy in his current state. But then he says, exactly then, when he's feeling low, should a person look, wait, there's divine revelation, there's divine potential in my very being. And this is something that I can choose, where I go with it. Divine revelation is looking to manifest through me despite all of my flaws and inadequacies, my weaknesses. And the fact that the divine revelation still wants to come through me at this time, is that not worth a great deal? And from that, says Rabbi Nachman, a person shall come to great joy, from feeling very, very low to becoming uplifted. And while this doesn't work 100% of the time, or whatever that, it works 80% of the, whatever it is, I don't remember the quote. Hey, my father is here. Hello, Ryan Astley. I'm pretty sure we've met before. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of a different Ryan that was on the channel. Either way, hi, Ryan. And my father, Avi Mori. Oh, look, Papa. Okay. Shalom and Shabbat Shalom to Crispy Films. Yo, Crispy. Ryan says, I have a question if you're okay with it. Yes, I am. Fire away. What did you do for the awkward stage of hair while it grew out and dreaded? Did you wear a beanie or do something else? So for the first, I would say 14 months, on and off, not religiously, but on and off, I'd wear a tam. I already had long hair when I started this journey, 13 years ago, something like that. So I kept my hair in a tam for, over a year, basically. And then, well, I lost it, and then I decided to just let it go. I never got another one. It was made by my woman. She can crochet, that woman. And for me, it wasn't an awkward stage. I mean, I not once did I know it's considered the awkward stage because it's the dreads forming. I get that technical, the technical term, sure. But for me, it wasn't awkward. I seriously fell in love with the process, like heavily. So I wore, I still wear things sometimes, but I like keeping my hair uncovered. So yeah, that's where I stand on that. Okay, so a very short one, relatively speaking. I'm gonna say goodbye and good Shabbos. This has been such a pleasure, and I mean, I'm definitely gonna be reading some more of this on Shabbat. You can bet your bottom dollar. But I definitely would like. I'll ask him first, as I said. I definitely want to learn this right alongside of you. It's a book of halacha, so some of the things may not be as engaging, if you will, as other, well, broadcasts have been. Wouldn't be that necessarily as engaging. So I may not do it every Monday and Wednesday. Maybe I'll see how it goes. I'll start if I do it. I don't even know, but I would like to do it. So have a good Shabbos, a restful Shabbos, a blissful Shabbos, a taste of the world to come. Hey, we grow, if ever so slightly, to become a little bit more empty in the things that we can, that we might make our very being a place of dwelling for the Most High, and He will dwell among all of us. I'm always willing to learn. Oh, okay, Lisa, good. You're on board. That's nice. I'd like to think I am too. Shabbat shalom. God bless from Yerushalayim.